The demon king, Ares, had been killed and their nation was in ruins as well. As a result, the remaining demons perished beneath the artificial sun. But it was still a win for the ones who stayed human. Not that the humans' victory would have stayed the gears of fate on their race down to oblivion. The chief noticed a young boy explaining to other officers about the houses, and after investigations, he went there only for us. Also, it was indeed true that there were nice properly built huts which, if given proper facelift, they will be good habitat. The little boy was happy they could all rest now. But the chief told him there was still a lot more resting to do before they could go back to their gardens. The chief then asked another young boy named Aiden to take a look around based on what the first boy had said. Aiden replied that there were so many things available that he thought they must get enough food there. Their aim was to plan everything so they could set up the country again and make order. To achieve that, they needed a leader, such as the chief. In fact, the chief was surprised when the boy mentioned him as a leader. A small boy was later seen holding a flower in his hand, which suddenly erupted into a purple furnace. Everyone was shocked, and before they knew it, the explosion killed many people. Not long after, the young boy who knew the chief arrived on a bus, as he was not around when the incident happened. He quickly went to check the corpses on the ground and was shocked to see the chief's muffler. He saw that no one was exempted from dying. Thereafter, a human-like demon emerged suddenly, asking the king to swallow him up and make him a second advent as he praised the king. This demon knew how the king transcended the universe and believed only the king could see the right world. He begged for the king's help to deliver him from terrible anguish. While he was asking for help, he suddenly heard a voice calling someone's name, Lucy, to come back, telling her that everything was returning to normal. The person calling was a small girl who did not heed the call at all. The human-like demon looked back and saw that the girl was already gone. This made him remember why he classified them as history's worst lowly creatures, which he hated. The young boy from earlier, who was with the chief from the beginning, was still sitting down, thinking of what to do, even though he knew it was the end as there were no more revelations. It dawned on him that the eternal night was coming and nothing could stop it. He regretted summoning the monster to the world, knowing it would grow after consuming their world. The guy chasing after the small girl, Lucy, eventually caught her. The girl did not want to follow him and began shedding tears, which formed a young man. In the beginning, the world was only filled with teeth. But one fateful day, there was a whisper of one word, balance, and that was how our main character, NC, came into existence. She appeared in the form of a lightning body. The small girl from earlier was seen again, as the young man had already caught her and brought her into the house. The young man, known as Doctor, was asking her where she had been since he had not seen the other guys and was worried about their well-being and why they had not come back yet. Doctor was worried because he doubted if they were still alive. He was thinking about what he would tell Rana when he came back. Meanwhile, the girl was sorry that she could not be of any help. Even though she was sober, she started crying because she could not protect Professor Miana and Lucy, whom the doctor was looking for. However, the doctor was thankful that the small girl had done all she could to survive. The young boy was later seen again on someone's shoulder. He did not know what was wrong with him and thought he was dead until the man dropped him off his shoulder, and he realized he was still alive. However, he then realized that the man actually wanted to burn him to death by dropping him under sunlight. The boy held the man's leg to prevent him from leaving. The man calmed him down, saying he could not die yet, as he had twisted the young boy's space a little with his own power. The man then asked him when was the last time he saw sunlight, knowing that there are memories in sunlight. The boy asked the man why he did something like that for him instead of killing him, remembering that they were enemies. However, the boy suspected that the man might be plotting something, so he told him to knock it off because he did not feel like dealing with the man and his associates. The boy made the man understand that nothing would happen if the man killed him right there. The man actually wanted to ask the boy for a favor, and if the boy did not reply, he still would not kill him. Although the man was not sure how well he could control the boy's space when they were far apart, he left. The boy felt like nothing would happen even if the man left him. Unfortunately for him, he was carried away by another man. He realized he had been duped. This new man told him that he would change demons back into humans by any means and let the boy know that it was not too late to take his life at that time. Thereafter, he was thrown into the midst of some young boys and girls lying on the floor. There, he saw a man whom he thought had died but noticed that blood was still flowing in him. The man in dark glasses who carried the boy away was seen driving recklessly on the road. But he stopped the car all of a sudden, as he noticed everywhere seemed dark, so he tried to observe the surroundings and detected that there was ash all over the ground. Then, the young guy from earlier who was asking a boy for a favor was seen again as he asked the man in dark glasses to follow him. But then the man replied that he cannot drive anymore due to the low visibility caused by the ash. Therefore, he is going to need the young guy's help. The man then asked if the guy was close to the military guys, as he had no idea of what was going on right then, because he could see some bodies lying lifeless on the floor. Although the man was under Aries for a long time, he claimed to know nothing. All the while he was talking, he expected the young guy to reply to him, but he did not get any response, and that made him check if the guy was still in the bus with him. To his utmost surprise, the guy had fallen down, and that shocked the man because he did not know how that happened. He quickly rushed to him to check if he is fine, but the guy addressed the man by his name, White, telling him to wake him up if he fell asleep, because there is not much time for them. The guy eventually fell asleep and White tried to wake him up, but he did not wake up. That made White think of different things that might have happened to the guy. He still kept on trying, and later on, he began shouting close to the guy's head. Maybe he would wake up, and he eventually woke up due to the loud noise White made. Then White asked him why he fell asleep so easily, but he did not reply. Rather, he only told White that Aries is dead, and White wanted to ask for more details about how it happened, as it seemed that was what the guy sent to check when he fell asleep. But the guy told White not to ask him for any details, as his heart was not in a good state right then. However, White was even happy that King Aries was dead, as he could remember how days under him were hell, so he told the guy, whom he called Shay, that it is better as Aries eventually died. Even what White said about Aries was true, as Shay confirmed it, but White did not believe him, as he was unsure that Shay could think that way. He then let Shay know about how much Aries hated him, as Aries has always tried to look for any way he might take to surpass Shay or how he can kill him. Therefore, White asked Shay to forget about Aries, as he was a real bad guy. Shay, listening to all what White was telling him, he could see that it seemed White was comforting him, but White actually meant that he should forget about the bitter mistakes he has made in the past with Aries, and instead they should move on. As White still saw that Shay was sober, he then asked Shay to let them leave, since it was Shay that said earlier that they did not have much time. The human-like demon appeared again, in front of a bright light, asking a man, Luciel, to reveal his real form, as he knew how Luciel had twisted Michael's noble sacrifice and also stole a soul's life. Therefore, he told Luciel that he would receive the wages of all the sins he has committed. But Luciel rejected it, letting the human-like demon, who happened to be his father, that he does not fear his father anymore. Luciel then explained how that world they are in was of great existences, exhibiting both light and dark, that one can even call the home of Lord Dark Lessa. However, he made it known to his father he cannot actually stop his father from sending him there. Instead, it happened to be what he was hoping for. Then he started fighting with his father, as they both used striking light, but Luciel added dark power to fight his father, which worked at a point, as it pushed his father back a bit. He himself could even feel the great dark power, as it just destroyed hundreds of billions of galaxies, whereby he hoped his father's world was among them. While fighting, he made his father understand that his father has made an idiotic choice, as he could see that his father can trade hundreds of millions of worlds and allow their energies to be destroyed in exchange for the world. But then he reminded his father he is still his father's creation, which is a partnership between light and dark, and therefore he would make his father pay for the price. However, his father did not understand why Luciel loathed his world, and he replied that the world his father made can never become eternal, as the balance has started to shift. Thereby, his father's world would soon be placed on the scales of destruction. What Luciel said made his father also prepare his mind to put his life on the other side of the scales. In a forest, a young guy was seen wandering around the forest, as he did not know how he got there, because he could not remember anything. Just then, he saw a man wearing a hat, sitting on the ground in the forest, and he easy to ask the man for help, telling him how he had lost his way. The man did not even respond to him. Instead, he stood up and asked the guy who lost his way if he could help him plant some trees. When the man asked the guy this question, the guy was lost as he did not understand what that was for. Later on, he agreed to help the man plant some trees, and they started doing so. A haiku was planting the tree with the man. The man saw how he was holding the tree, so that prompted the man to ask if that was his first time of planting trees, and he replied that it was. However, when he felt like he couldn't plant the trees very well using his bare hands alone, he then asked the man in the hat if he had any tools he could use, because it feels inefficient doing it with his hands. But the man replied that they cannot use tools, so it won't damage the tree by accident. Therefore, they have to do it with care. The reply made the guy look at the man suspiciously, and also look at the trees on the ground, thinking about when they will be through with planting all of that, as that time was not the right time for him to be doing that. As he wanted to go and pick another tree that he will plant, he saw a black tree which was totally different from other ones, and he decided to carry that one. But the man quickly asked him to put it down, because the tree was said to have been in existence for too long. Moreover, the guy thought that the black tree should be the one that they will plant quickly, since it is old, so it will not rot. But the man quickly kicked the tree from him, as he saw that the G did not understand what he meant. So he went ahead to plant it, and before they knew it, the man was done with planting all the tree. Thereafter, the man then asked the guy what help he can render to him, since he is done with his own work. The guy was confused on what particularly to ask the man to help him with, as he did not know where he needed to go or how he got to the forest in the forest place. He did not remember anything anymore. Then, the man took his hand and made the guy's palm touch the tree he specially planted for him. It was then that the guy could get the revelation of what happened to him earlier and how he got to the forest. After getting some revelation, the man saw that it seemed that the guy had lived some admirable life before, and he was shown the things that he had cultivated. Meanwhile, the guy actually wanted to know what really happened, but the man thought that he did not need to remember things of the long past again. Yet the guy did not listen to the man, and so he raised to find out. It was then that he saw that he was the one who killed his friend, and it seems that the friend also took revenge, but he wondered how he was reborn again, when he thought that was the end before. The guy felt shameful and regretted ever killing his friend, but the man calmed him down, making him remember how he has also saved countless people, even though he killed his friend. Therefore, the man let the guy know how much he trusted him, as he addressed him as his child. At this rate, the guy was shocked with all the comforting words coming out of the man's mouth, whom he did not know before. Later on, the guy eventually found himself in another place with a man, blindfolded. The guy was still blindfolded, trying to remember who the man might be in the past. Then he remembered seeing a frame of him and his family, whereas the man happened to be his father there. That was when the guy saw that his coming to the forest was even according to plan, but he really wanted to know which are the lies and which are the truth. Then he asked his father about their family, which was left in the dark. He even felt sad for his mother as well. However, the man told him that there were no lies at all, as he explained that in his father, Michael's heart, there was no lie in whatever he did. He told the guy how Michael, his father, had lived with his mother and even the guy more than the guy could ever imagine. The man then offered the guy a drink, as he saw that he was not in a good mood, so he told him to drink it for him to feel better. The guy collected the drink, but asked the man what the drink was meant for before he would drink it, so the man replied that the drink was just like their version of fun. Since the guy was still blindfolded, he could not see the content of the drink, so he decided to drink it, but on taking the first gulp, he threw the bottle away, as he did not even feel any better. He got away and talked rashly at the man. Meanwhile, the guy's goal was to protect his family, both in his past life and his current life, and he wished to achieve that. The guy already hated Michael, his father, because as the man was talking about Michael, addressing him as his father, he quickly corrected the man not to call Michael his father anymore. But the man still continued, letting the guy know that how Michael left everything to him and still left him was too much for a human to endure actually. But when Ro was said to have manifested through the guy was greatly damaged, and therefore his soul was ripped into shreds, whereby, in the process of piecing him back together, various memories flowed into him, which caused him to behave somehow to it, as he remembered them. The guy eventually accepted that the memories of his past life are nothing to him, so he is now fine with it. Then he asked about Michael's whereabouts, as he was the one who puts him in that kind of state, and pretends to die so he can abandon him and his family. When the man saw that the guy already knew everything, he apologized and asked the guy for forgiveness because it was not a lie. Because he, Uriel, was the one who assisted Michael by killing Michael, as he can abandon his family. And that was how Michael went to sleep for eternity. White and Shay were later seen stuck driving the bus, as White could see that they were approaching the wall, whereby he knew that if they could just get past that gate, they might see the university. Just as he said, they approached the university, and Shay could see some people Kitchi tried calling if they answer him, but White, who did not even care, continued driving, and Shay tries to caution him so he won't go and kill those people with the bus. They eventually burst into military men who stopped them on their way. They asked the team to lower the car window down so they could see their faces. They also asked them where they were coming from. As the military man who walked up to their car was asking these questions, they were panicking, as Shay did not even know their faces before. So it was White who replied that they were coming from Zone 1. One of the military that was half bald-headed did not believe them, as he kicked them out of the bus and tied them. So the military man went to meet others, as he discussed Abit, White, and Shay with them, narrating how they had barely caught them sneaking in, as he could detect that one of the guys was a demon and the other seemed to be a Zone 1 slave, which confused the military man on how the Zone 1 slave was okay in the sunlight. Meanwhile, White was angry at the fact that ordinary humans caught him up, and while he was angry, Shay saw that he was planning to kill those military men, but then he knew that White cannot kill people. Just then a young guy among the military men, seeming to be caring at White and Shay, while he was checking if they were fine, he detected that White was a demon with one horn cut off, and he saw that Shay was not a demon. When the half-bald-headed military man saw this young guy, he wanted to stop him, but his power was not enough as the young guy. Whereas the young guy moved closer to Shay, he remembered that the guy's face was familiar, but he could not recollect where he knew the guy from. Before he knew it, the guy already brought out a gun, pointing at White, as he wanted to kill him because he did not want Shay to hang around demons. Before the military man could stop the guy, he already pulled the trigger, and shockingly enough, he shot Shay's hand instead of White. However, it was Shay who intentionally put his hand there, as he did not want White to die, claiming that he is his friend. Even White did not expect that Shay would save his life, because he already thought he would die. The military men were all shocked, as they could not believe their eyes that Shay could catch a bullet with his hand. Meanwhile, what Shay did made the guy realize that Shay was not a human, and that really pained the guy so much. However, Shay was not even remorseful for deceiving the guy, as he did not consider it important enough. All that he kept on saying was that he did not have much time, and that he did not want to fight the guy right then. Immediately, he carried White on his shoulders and decided to leave, but they were stopped by the military men, in which Shay kept warning that he did not want to fight with. Just then, the guy wondered what could be inside the truck. They drove to the place, and before he could run to the truck, they already opened the truck and brought out all the children. But Shay asked them to all put down their guns because he would not allow them to lay their hands on those children. Meanwhile, the young guy, who was a military man, questioned Shay on how possible it was for those demon children not to get burnt in sunlight, and also asked him what he was going to do with the children. Shay did not reply to the guy. Instead, he only let the guy know that the children are hairless to humans, so they should not bother to kill them, rather they should release them. When he said that, the guy did not believe that demons would not harm humans, and even other military men also supported as well. As they talked about how demons do waste lives, one of them did not even believe that those children are actually kids, because if they stole people's lives, they are not considered with their age again, as they might be adults in children's bodies. They all disagree with Shay that the demons must not be allowed to be released into their world. In fact, even if they are kids, they still want to kill them, as they may later grow into harmful beings. Shay still kept on trying to explain things to the military men, that the children are innocent, but none of the military men wants to hear his story again. Shay did not give up. He started pleading with the military men to give the children a chance, all to no avail. Whereas, all the while Shay was begging the military men, White was hearing them, and he got anew to an extent that he changed his form totally, then started using his power, fire, to attack all the military men. Some tried running for their lives, as they could see that he has become a monster, which he agreed, but did not stop killing them. Thereafter, a voice spoke to White, telling him to stop killing them and not committing any sins anymore. Despite that, in the end, nothing changes. White eventually stopped killing them as he asked if others would still get in their way again, and the young guy immediately replied that they will leave them because he already broke their guns. So there's nothing for them to fight him again. Meanwhile, White knew that it is not like the military guys actually want to leave them, but the fact that they cannot just stop them again.